Good rising to everyone. I'm giving thanks, grateful. I woke up today. So it's a grand rising for me. It's February the 4th. It's about 9:30 in the morning. And I wanted to kind of make this real quick video just talking about some of the things that I'm still kind of going through right now and where I'm at. And so basically with where I'm at now, this has been a video diary, let me just state that. And so that's why I kind of do a date stamp and with the time stamp as well, just giving information about what day and time it is and where I'm at right now with everything that's happening. And so as of today, yesterday I kind of did a fruit fast and I did pretty much all fruits. It's fruit smoothie and water. And today I woke up and still going through the same psychic attacks, but I know, like I said, the ones doing this, these people have higher knowledge, and the ones that's doing this, we know, of course, it's the Masons and the Freemasons. And right now what they've done is yesterday I went through a situation where they was harvesting light. So they were taking a lot of women light. And what they do is basically when you get married, your spouse covers you. And if he does not cover you, there is someone guiding him spiritually. In this country, most of the men, especially black men, are being guided. White men as well. I think the white men are guided by the Freemasons. The black men are guided by the Masons. That's how they divided it. And so with the black men being guided by the Masons, when Prince Hall started the Masons, I personally don't think that that was good or bad that he did that, because he is still up under the Freemasons, and they don't say that they are Freemasons. They call them Masons. So I personally, because of hierarchy and you thinking about it, I think critically, and I'm like, okay, so they don't say that they're the Masons. The Prince Hall, they say Masons. It's not Freemasons. So basically, you're not free. You're under their jurisdiction and authority, and I believe that the Freemasons guide the Masons. The Masons may not know about it. They may not know about it. But the Freemasons, I believe they possibly are guiding the Masons, the higher up Masons, and then the higher up Masons guiding the lower Masons, and then the lower Masons are guiding the men that are out here that are in the gangs, or the young men that don't have a father in the home. That's how they're doing this and recruiting them. And you don't have, and these people, you got to think about it, because not all of them have good character. Not all of them have integrity and moral values, about themselves that actually distinguish them higher enough for them to have the authority and power to guide another man. I mean, imagine this. Imagining these men that don't have these, they have lower values, and have not done the necessary healing and work within them that they need to do for them to be properly out here guiding these other men or these younger boys and men. And then in addition to that, you got to think about it. The women are the ones raising these children. So when you don't do what your husband or your spouse or your baby's father or daddy does, or wants you to do, then they are putting you in situations where you're overworking yourself as a woman. And I believe that they're actually still doing that. And the ones that are doing these things, if they are not Masons and the Illuminati, you're also working with the Anunnaki. But either way, this is a masculine entity. They have a masculine archon entity in them that's narcissistic, in which they like to manipulate and control others, especially the women. especially the women, because they know the women are superior than them. So the best thing for them to do is to suppress the woman from her power as a goddess, as a god, because God created us in his image, male and female. It didn't say God created us in his image, male. It says in scriptures, in Genesis, God created male and female in his image. So they gave us the information, they gave us the knowledge. We got the spiritual tools, the information, but many of us shy away from the Bible. And so that's what else they'll do to you too. So many women, like when you went through your spiritual awakening, you kind of, when you found out truth about what they're doing spiritually, some of you separate yourself from the Bible. And that's the worst thing that you can do, is what I'm saying based off of my experience. That's the worst thing you can do, because that's actually your birthright. That's your protection. That's your divinity. That's your power. That's your power and your protection in that scriptures. Is guiding you. It's giving you basic instructions before you leave this earth. And so I drop these videos and these tools and this knowledge when I get these downloads and this information, and it comes to my mind. I'm like, I got to get this out of my mind. I got to share this and create a platform for other women and other people, for them to be aware and for them to know what's happening, so they don't get lost in darkness. Because getting lost in darkness is pretty much, I will honestly tell you, you're lost in darkness when we go to our ancestors and when we go to idols and people that have passed and that they may have left here in a dark space, in a dark mind, in a dark way, and they went on the dark side. And so then you go on that side. When you have the opportunity, the Christ is within you. The light is within you. You just have to go within yourself to know thyself. When you know thyself, you're going to know the part that makes up you. You have light and dark within you. But you have to choose which you are operating more from. What are you listening more to? Are you listening more to the gravitating to the dark side of you? Or are you gravitating to the light side of you? Or have you chosen to fill your entire temple with light energy or with dark energy? Because that energy and that the souls behind, the spirits behind your vessel, all of that makes up your decisions and what guides you. And I will also say, thinking things through critically, and not feeling like you have to rush and be impulsive. Where there's impulsiveness, that's possibly a spirit. And it's not a spirit that's going to help benefit you and guide you in the right way. So I choose, and I say, and I speak, and I ask the divine Holy Spirit to guide me and keep me and protect me and my family, my sons, throughout this day today. And when I do that, I honestly feel like I'm divinely guided, like my holy healing hands, my heart, my mind. It's a complete alignment for my entire mind, my body, my soul. And so waking up daily, guiding yourself, I'm sorry, allowing a divine Holy Spirit to guide you, it helps you make better decisions throughout your day. It helps you be confident. And it helps you be able to create a reality for yourself by staying focused, staying aligned, speaking the truth. And I'm staying grounded. Is so important. But that's how you stay grounded. That's my grounding foundation right there. So I ground myself for my creativity, for my confidence, for the love within me, for my truth within me, for me to stay focused. And then I align myself with my highest divine self, the God within me. The God within me connects with the God that's all around me, all outside of me. And then I'm aligned with Source. So I just wanted to kind of provide that little information on what helps me daily throughout this spiritual warfare in this time. Again, I say if you're receiving those spiritual attacks, align yourself in the morning, clean yourself up when you rise up, because no, we don't go into darkness when we are asleep. I do not go into darkness, but I am aware that things are happening throughout the night. There's some people that work in the nighttime. And I personally, I work in the day, and I like to be asleep at night. I like to be asleep no later than like 10:30. I like to be asleep no later than 10:30. If I find myself asleep later than 10:30, I sometimes can go all the way to like 1 and 2 o'clock. And then my sleep pattern is off, and my sleep schedule is off, because then I have to, no matter what, I have to wake up at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. So then I'm not getting enough sleep. And that's not healthy for me. That's not healthy for my mind, for my body, anything. So I just kind of wanted to just drop this quick video and just share a little bit of information. And I am going through something right now where I am learning more about myself. I'm studying my ancestry. I'm actually doing an African ancestry test as well. Even though my mother has told us our history, our maternal history, I still want to know more, because the African ancestry, it goes more into your maternal lineage. And I wanted to have more information on the lineage. I wanted more detailed results. And from the research I've done, they said that the African ancestry is better than just going through and doing an ancestry test. So it does more details, goes more back to the root. And that's what I like. I like the root. I like to get to the root. And so I'm feeling good today. And despite of how I woke up and, the telepathic attacks, the psychic attacks that happened, and I don't know what's really happening and why they put us in these spiritual communities, but many of us are in spiritual communities. That's something I wanted to say and address too. And the society that put us in these spiritual communities, they did it for a reason. So I would also say that. And then, so like I went through this phase where I was like, what is this happening? My kids are going through stuff, like stuff's happening in my marriage. It seems like it's happening to break us apart, but it's like something's divine happening, like it's some type of divine intervention that's happening. And so I was trying to figure out what's happening I was like, I see what's happening in the church. The church is not even abiding by the Bible, but they are teaching from the Bible. And many of the members are doing things in the church, and it's just not in alignment with God and Christ. So I went through a phase where I was like, you know what? Something was guiding me to get a reading. And that's the truth. But I was already reading myself. I was already connected to source. I was already aligned. The information and the knowledge I was receiving was directly from the source. I just felt like I needed some type of confirmation, or that I was unsure, or I wanted to know for sure what's happening. I guess I didn't know what to do with the information that I had received. So I needed more information to help me determine how far I would go when I made my decisions, right? So I got the readings, and then I found out, confirmed, he was messing with other people, and it was my mom, and it was this person and that person. Then let's say like a year, 2 years down the line, sporadically getting readings, it started to come to me like, why are all these readers giving the same information, especially on YouTube? If you get readings off of YouTube, you will see that a lot of them is giving this almost the same information. If you go to different readers, you'll see that a lot of them are giving the same information. And so when I did that, I was like, okay, what's really happening? What's going on? Then it happened to me in, I think it was actually between March and April of 2023. And then I was put into a spiritual community. They wiped my complete memory, and it feels like they took my entire soul, because I was like confused. I didn't know what was happening with me and what was going on. I don't know if this alien beings that they said came into this aggressive alien beings came into this atmosphere back in 2023 March 555 3/23/23. So they're saying that that's what happened at that time. And then when that happened, it's like they were consuming us. And I feel like that's what happened to me, but I don't know whether it's an alien species or whether I don't know whether it's the Anunnaki, the alien species, or whether it is a secret society, whether it's the Freemasons, the Masons, the Illuminati. I believe that they all work together. How about that? And I found a video on YouTube that actually confirmed that the Anunnaki actually worked with the Roman Catholics. And the Roman Catholics also work with, they say they don't work with the Freemasons. I also did research on that. The Roman Catholic Church said that they are divided and separate from the Freemasons. However, they do have Freemasons like in that area, in the churches. There are Masons in the churches. And I don't know how they say they do not work with the Freemasons when the Freemasons are the ones that wrote the Bible. I'm not. I don't get all that because somewhere down the line, someone's calling me. Okay. So it says, okay, so basically somewhere down the line, there was an informant or someone that was straddling the fence, working both sides or somewhere, or someone lying about something. There's something being told that is not truthful. But either way, I will definitely say they are all affiliated. And that's based off of the information and the research I have done. If you do not believe me, you can do your own research, because I always say, please do your research. Do research. You can do it and gather information on YouTube, and then you can combine that information on YouTube with DuckDuckGo, with Google, or any of these other browser platforms to search. You can do that to confirm that for yourself. But again, like I said, from what I have done recently in the past week, the Anunnaki are the ones that provided that knowledge and information to the Roman Catholic Church. Then, they went off. Of course, they had these jobs on Sundays, but they also had work to do Monday through Saturday as well. So many of them turned into scientists and doctors and lawyers and all these higher up positions in society out here. And so they're in here operating. They're straddling the fence, if you think about it, because a lot of them are not applying what they do on Sunday throughout the week. So in my church that I grew up in, we used to say, I forgot what it was called, but I'll say it. We would read a model, what you can call it. What would we call the benediction? At the end of the benediction, at the end of the service, we would read and we would say, you will soon depart from this place to carry out the principles and the gospels of God's word throughout your week. You were to apply what they taught us in church. We were to apply it throughout the week. This was a Baptist church. And at the time when we read that, the pastors that were there at that time, they are now deceased. They're no longer there. And those pastors were true men of God from my perspective, from what I saw them carry themselves as. These were true men of God. And these men of God, they actually embodied that essence and made sure they did that and applied it. They were humble, And I will honestly say, I was in a shopping plaza one day and I saw my pastor and his wife, the first lady. I saw them together and they were walking inside of a thrift store. They were walking in the thrift store. And I just thought that was so humbling, because I have not ever seen them flashy with gold necklace and gold watches and gold teeth. I didn't see that. Some of these pastors, and my mother always says, don't go against the men of God, but I'm just speaking truth, and I'm not talking bad about the men of God. I'm speaking actually just stating facts on what I've seen. And that's what I've seen. I've seen some pastors like glittered in gold up. like even gold teeth in the mouth, gold necklace, gold rings, gold watches, like designer shoes, like car, house, everything. But then my question be, like, what are you giving back to your community? What are you doing? And I'll say this: a lot of the men, it's the men. The men lifted themselves up and suppressed and oppressed the women. That's what they did. And it's so sickening and disgusting. And as men, as black men, considering what your ancestors went through and how they hung them for trees, you decide to sell out your black women and demonize your women because of their spiritual gifts and call them witches. So you're going to call us witches when all the while you all were witches before we came into our power of who we are as women and what was in us. It's so, and then it's just like, for me, because of what all I've gone through and how I uplifted the black men more after I went through my divorce, when I realized, what the men were going through, I had sympathy for these men. Little did I know that these were Mason men or Anunnaki men that have this higher power and higher ranking. I'm sorry, excuse me, not ranking, higher knowledge, and misuse their power and misuse their knowledge to suppress us from our power because they knew that the black woman was superior than the black men. The women, period, are more superior than the men, but the men are the weaker vessel. So what they had to do is lift themselves up to break us down. I hope the women are hearing me. I pray and hope that the women hear me and find all of this knowledge, all of this information. Let them align with it. If you pay attention, don't watch the news. Get on YouTube and pay attention to your local news as well. Like if you're not even your local news. So basically, I get notifications about stuff that happened local in my community, like in my city. Pay attention to that news in addition to like the news that's in your state, and then pay attention to the news in the country and then the world news. So I don't watch the news on the TV because that's been controlled and edited. I like to watch stuff that say go live. When it say go live, I like to click on it instantly, no matter what I'm doing, real quick. I like to go see when they go live. When they go live, that's when I'm watching it. If they not going live, they have already edited. And I don't really have time for it. I don't want to, because I got to go back and do research online and get the quotes. I want to see the quotes. I want to read it and see the quotes. So what I'm basically saying is the black men had this knowledge, they had this information, and instead of them getting that knowledge and that information, and at that time making sure they uplifted many of the black women, many of them are suppressing and oppressing us for them to lift themselves up because they are the weaker vessel. And I believe that this whole yin yang thing, if the women are more superior, then the women must be yang. Or maybe it's an energy. So maybe it's a yang energy that they're in. And the men are going to be yin because they're the weaker vessel. Scriptures talk about that. So I'm just dropping this information. I had to get it out. I had to speak on it because I'm at a point right now where my hand cannot keep up with my mouth and mind. But my mouth is going to speak it out and let it flow. And even when it's flowing, sometimes I'm jumping and I'm talking about one thing and then I'm jumping to another. Please forgive me because it's a lot of information that I'm trying to get out. And I'm trying my best to humble myself and do it with ease as best as I can. But I am a human. And I do, I'm perfectly imperfect. I was created in perfection, and I am trying to maintain that perfection through self-preservation. And that's what I basically strive for daily, and I rise for daily. And so I'm about to get up out of here. And I just wanted to send everybody some love, light, peace, and healing energy. I pray that you all have a great day. Lift yourselves up. Lift your vibrations up. Do what you love. Give your body what it needs.